Yo, what's up, guys? This video is going to be one of my longer ones, but let me tell you why. This one's going to be very unique because it's a lot of details behind this one. Alright, so stay with me though. It's a lot of valuable info and a lot of uh, details, like I said, that kind of goes into this one. Anyways, so guys, this one is gonna be about a buyer that ended up. She was referred to me by a past client, and she was looking for a single family house. But here's the catch: is that she was getting evicted from her apartment. All right, guys. So her landlord sent her a 30-day notice. Went through the motion of all that type of stuff, and let her know, hey, I need the apartment vacant by a certain date, right? And where I'm at, the state of Massachusetts is very, well, for the most part, very tenant friendly. So they can, ask for more time, go to court, appeal, and, go through all that process. But, she was very proactive. So in the apartment, it was her and her daughter. And, she didn't want to go through all that, the stress of, having to go to court, take days off of work, go through all that motion. She's like, you know what? I think I'm ready to be a homeowner. So, we went through, that process and had a conversation about what that kind of looked like to see if it kind of fit for her, right? Looking at my notes here, guys. So, like I said, she was referred over. What she was she was a friend of a family that we had helped out before. And this family, we had helped the mom and dad find the house. We had helped two of the sons find the house. So really, it was a close-knit type of group. So when they told us about helping this person out, we were all for it, right? So, like I said, she was looking to buy a single-family house, but she only had 3% down as a down payment, and it worked, hand in hand, because single family houses, they do have certain programs for 3-5% down type of thing. So it did work out. Luckily, her credit was there, down payment, income, and all that type of stuff where she qualified. So, but the key thing that I remember on this one is that she had to get out by a certain date, so the pressure was on. All right. Not only was, she desperate to find the house, I was desperate to, help her out with this whole process, but also the pressure of fulfilling the expectation, right? Like, we had worked with these clients before. They knew, I was legit, and they wanted to give this person the best service possible, right? So the pressure was on. I ain't even gonna lie. It got real. But she understood the situation. Her goal was just to buy a single family house to get her daughter and her a good spot to live in, right? So she was not picky. If the house needed a little bit of work, she was cool with it, right? She wasn't she didn't have these crazy high expectations. She wasn't going out of this world in terms of this is, I want a mini mansion or anything like that. That wasn't it at all. She knew where she stood, right? So, her main priority was finding a good neighborhood, a good area for her and her daughter, right? Somewhere safe, somewhere that she can go home and feel like she's fine, right? So with all that, we found this house in a very, very, good neighborhood at a reasonable price. And what ended up happening is this house was actually within a family for over 30 years, right? And that could go, either or, hit or miss, but it was a little outdated on this one. Not gonna lie, the kitchen was outdated, the walls were outdated, it had wallpaper, but the house was solid, structural, roof, and all that type of stuff. It was solid, where she didn't have to spend money on what I like to call big ticket items, right? The roof, the siding, the foundation. Those are your big ticket items. Sometimes the boiler too, and depending on what that looks like. But anyways, so we ended up finding this house, and her offer did get accepted. We did do a home inspection. The home inspection it ended up showing asbestos in the heating system on the pipes, but also knobbing to wiring on one section of the house, which was the front porch. It was the front porch, kind of. It was an enclosed porch. It wasn't necessarily, I guess you could call it a sunroom, but it wasn't heated, right? But that's where the knob and wiring was. They had removed the rest of it throughout the house, but that one area, which I find kind of weird at that time, they did not remove it from. So that's what the home inspection revealed. So with that, we ended up going back, renegotiating the price, and getting the knob and wiring at least taken care of, right? And that's just because home inspection, or rather home insurance companies, they sometimes won't insure a house with knob and wiring. So we said to the seller, hey, for us to get this done, we need at least that part taken care of. The asbestos part we can take care of on our time, but to get this whole thing taken care of, at least take care of the knob and wiring, which they did, which it all kind of worked out. And later down the line, she would end up taking care of the asbestos. It was a fieldstone foundation, so she wasn't planning on going down there anytime soon, none of that type of stuff. But she ended up getting the asbestos taken care of. She removed it and ended up later down the line selling the house, but that's gonna be for another one. So long story short, her main priority was moving out of her apartment, making sure that she had a crib for her and her daughter, and she made it happen. One thing that stood out on this one too, though, is that the crib, it didn't have parking. It only had parking on the street. So what she ended up doing was knocking down a wall to create parking for 4 cars. I'll keep it a stack. I didn't even know that was possible, right? She got a paver to pull permits, knocked down a wall, and pretty much paved down, asphalted down parking for 4 cars. So I thought that was pretty legit. At that time, I was still kind of new to it and didn't know the ins and outs, but shoot, like it came out to be pretty cool. But the second part to this, the sales side, because she ended up selling it afterwards, I'm gonna dive into that part of it, because that one is a lot more in depth. But other than that, let me know if you guys run into something similar, right? Like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. All right, take care.